extraordinary circumstances, and she started coming on $5,000 she saved working as a public school teacher. That's impressive. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to
Okay. Hi. So I'm probably not the most traditional presenter of them all. My name, like she said, is Sally January, and I was born here in Norman and raised here in Norman. And my first exposure to real poverty was with McFarland Church when they used to take kids every year to Mexico on mission trips. And I did it several years where I got to live in a home with a family while we built their new home. And so that was really my first time for me to see that there was something outside of this community of Norman, really, truly, because I hadn't seen anything like that before. And so as I grew up in the Norman school system, I really took to Spanish and the Spanish language. And when I was 15, Dr. Lois Lawler at Norman High School said, I think you should do this program in Colima, which no one has gone to Colima in a very long time from Norman. We've had the Sister City program for a really, I don't know, Erin, how long has it been? It's been a long time. And even people in the 80s, I mean, it's been a long time. People come up to me and say, oh my gosh, you've been there. I went when OU had this program. Anyways, the program doesn't really exist anymore. And so I was supposed to stay 6 weeks, and I don't even know how many years I stayed. I learned Spanish. I became bilingual. I never really wanted to come back. Every time I came back here, all I did was figure out how I could go back again. So I graduated from Norman High, and I studied international development at the University of Colorado. And then I taught somehow Spanish on the south side of Oklahoma City for 9 years. And education was always my passion, but I felt like there was something bigger that I could be doing with my time and effort. And I did, when I finished grad school here, I got married and I had kids. I was teaching Spanish at the University of Oklahoma. And I just found myself looking to do more. And so I flew down to Colima, and I started with one skirt with a pattern that my mom and I made, and with one woman in one village in Suchitan in Colima, with one indigenous woman. And we employed her full-time for about 6 months before I took my second trip to southern Mexico, where now the majority of our clothing is made, and I've gone from employing that one woman to now we employ 50 women full-time. So that was about 3 years ago, and 2 years ago I started selling wholesale to boutiques and stores nationwide, and we're now in 250 stores. I guess I should go on. I'm not even talking about this. I told you about that. And this is my favorite quote. So this is really what inspired me to start my business. It says, many people in small places doing small things can change the world. Because I've proven it to myself. My goal is just to hire one woman, really. It's kind of, it does make me laugh that it's gotten this big so far. And I work specifically with women who don't have access to employment on a daily basis. So every relationship that I've started with these artisans has started through some sort of travel that I've had. I work with them in their homes. Most of them live by hand or sew literally by hand. There's little access to electricity. Many of them have made in a home where fire is their only access to heat, so the clothes kind of smell a little bit. Now we're employing 50 full-time artisans through 3 regions in Mexico. We're in 200, almost 250 stores now, actually, since I made this, including 15 Nordstrom stores across the West Coast in Canada. So another main goal of starting this was really to create a climate change in the fashion industry. It's one of the most wasteful, exploitative businesses that there are, and most people really don't like to think about it. I compare it to the meat industry. People don't like to think about how their beautiful steak got on their plate. But in clothing is the same way. It's really easy to say, oh my gosh, that's a hole in it, we're going to throw it in the trash. And when I started digging into the fair trade movement and what the actual impact is on our environment, on really our entire world, on children, this became something that I became really passionate about. And so I think for that reason it's come so far. Another quote that is really important to me in my business is, a leader is anyone who takes responsibility for recognizing the potential in people and ideas and has the courage to develop that potential. And that's something that was taught to me when I was in high school by my leadership teacher. And that is a Brene Brown quote. If you know this Brene Brown, she's my rock star, my motivators. visiting these villages was there's so much potential and so much to share, but they don't have an access to sell this product. And also, one of the biggest challenges that they have is they don't have access to technology or don't know what colorway or style or body fit is going to sell well. And there's thousands of women willing to embroider or loom, and they're extremely proud of it. Actually, I just got back from shooting the documentary with Lampstand to show the stories of these women, how much they love to share and feel so prideful when they see other people wearing what they make. So this is just a little bit of what we do. These are our products. Here are our tops and our clutches that are in the Nordstrom stores now. And where I'm wanting to go is by the end of next year, I'd like to have 200 women on staff. We have 4 full-time employees here stateside, but 200, and my goal is always to employ women who don't have access to employment. So what we found through this year is that our wholesale took a huge jump. I mean, it was 90% of our income. And our retail, I opened my first retail front, which is in downtown Oklahoma City. We're on 9th and Broadway. We're next door to Iguana Grove. And so it is my glorified office, I call it. We office upstairs and my store is downstairs, and the store is growing very rapidly as well. We're doing very well there, but in comparison to the wholesale, it doesn't even scrape the surface. But when you're dealing with an artisan-made product, you have to look at, are you respecting what it is as a craft? You only can stretch it so far when you're looking wholesale. And so when I looked at the amount of products we were able to complete this year, if we would have sold those on a retail level, all of us could have worked a lot less, right? So my goals for this upcoming year are to balance that out more, the retail, online, my store, online, and wholesale. Those are kind of my 3 channels. And so I'd really like to hear from people if anyone has any ideas about building marketing online, website building. I run my platform on Shopify because I have 3 channels. I don't always know where my inventory is. So being a retail-based business, that's nothing that I ever studied. I had no idea how to manage inventory. Holy moly. So, yes, go 1 minute. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is increase the profit margin and product value through our product quality, branding, and marketing, improving our tagging, everything that goes along with it. I travel with a professional photographer every time I travel, and our engagement goes through the roof on social media when we do that, and it seemed to always pay for itself, and that's when I really started seeing growth online was when, I mean, you just have to have this perfectly curated Instagram to be able to sell in fashion. It's true. So, I guess that's it. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Oh, you gonna start? Okay.
So our first question, if you haven't already answered it, is what we as a community can do to help your business grow and succeed?
Yeah, I'm just looking, I think, for advice or suggestions or support on how to surviving in retail. Nowadays is very difficult, and it's very difficult to do it just on reselling things. And so our storefront has become what we call an ethical boutique. So in addition to the Siempre Viva line, everything else that we carry there is ethically produced that I search out myself. So I ask all the hard questions when I sell wholesale or when I buy wholesale from other lines, and that has seemed to take off, that concept. And that could be something that is scalable. And then our wholesale has done well too, and we're kind of modifying what sells best and what we can do on a larger scale. So I really just love any sort of advice as far as branding, marketing, how to grow that retail side. Yeah. Okay.
Who's got questions?
Yeah, so you mentioned tagging, and I don't know if this is exactly what you mean, but you have such an amazing story to tell, and I bet every one of those 50 women has an amazing story to tell. And so, is that kind of what you're referring to?
Yeah, it's really hard because when you sell wholesale, most boutiques instantly rip the tag off the shirt. So instantly your story's gone. So I spent $2 per tag on this dress, right? Really expensive, tell the story about the woman. And I'm still not able to control that. There's nothing I can do once it leaves my store. You can try to say when you open up a sell account like this, you're supposed to leave it on. But at the end of the day, I also see this from my boutique, is every boutique is copying every other boutique. So when someone shares a product, they don't want to say who made it because then the other boutique down the street is going to have it. And zip code protection is a crazy thing. But it's just an interesting concept. And so we also have traveled, that's why I've been making these 59-second videos that are shareable on social media that encapsulate that. I just got back, we did it in September. So we're waiting for the longer edited version to come out that we can have links to on YouTube. And at Market we show it. And people in the moment get it. And that's what we've seen is when people actually buy from us on a retail level, they're always 100% in and engaged. It's where the disconnect happens when we sell it wholesale to a store, they put it in their store, then the girl who's working the store has no idea who made it or where it came from. And this was made on a limb. It took a week to make it. And if you don't say that, then people are like, $89, you know? And $89 is a steal for a handloom dress. Yes, with cotton that they made out back in Poland. You know, it's unreal. Yeah. So here's what I'm doing. This is crazy. In the last 2 weeks, we have shook up our wholesale, and I'm dropping apparel altogether. We're going to do direct-to-consumer on apparel so that we can lower the price and tell that story, because we've never had a handbag return. We've never had I sell pom-poms. I don't know if everyone knows what that is, but people tie them onto their handbags, and on the holidays, they sell like hotcakes as ornaments. We sell belts and visors and accessories, and so I am entering a gift showroom in Dallas, and we're going to cut out that apparel at the wholesale level so that we remove that issue. Because I felt like I was banging my head into the wall of someone calling me and be like, well, this one has a slightly different mustard color than this one. And I was like, well, it was dyed with flowers that were on a tree in his backyard. And I said that on the tag, and I told you that. So it's just hard. And so we realized that the people who love it are going to love it, and they're going to find me, and hopefully they will through that marketing that I'm going to be doing really well with your help. And I'm hoping that would remove a lot of the headache in our wholesale game. Yeah. Because exchanges and returns are where you just like gouge money out your neck. Yeah. That's where my store is always great, because that's where we put it on sale and say, all right, get rid of it. Everything's $20. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah.
How would you say like the durability of the clothes are? You know, because I would love to spend a lot more for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good cause and everything, but I don't know how to fix things if they.
Absolutely, it's a really big question. The things that are hand embroidered typically are our best durable items, and I put them in the machine on delicate cold, and it's fine. I never tell anyone that. I always say hand wash cold, because then when you say that, it gets ruined, and it's my fault. Something like this that has fringe, it has to be hand washed. You just put it in water and then you hang it up. And we try to be really clear about that. And most people who want to wear something like this are willing to go forth through the effort to have it. But not all of our products are covered in fringe also. So that is something that
That dress is adorable.
Thank you very much. And some of it have less fringe than others. But as far as quality goes, we rarely have things returned because it didn't last long enough. It typically would be if I missed a quality issue that I didn't see it when it was passing through, or sometimes people shrink things a lot.
Yeah.
We work with 100% cotton, so I try to tell, and that's something that we try to tell everyone. It's 100% cotton. It's on the tag. Please don't rip it off. Tell them that if you're going to rip it off. So, and as far as that, we don't really have any issues. Our motto is buy less, buy better. Buy just one dress, you can keep wearing it over and over and over rather than 10 of them.
Yeah.
And that would be
Right away.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That helps answer.
Yeah. It's really helped you, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can you share with the group about your incubator experience? And how
Oh yeah, that's how I did start. So a year and a half ago, I won free rent in a competition in Oklahoma City for a storefront for 5 months. So the people who back Good Egg Dining, I guess the financial backing, are out of LA. They saw this concept work there where they had a new retail space that was developing. It wasn't full yet, and so let's have someone fill it who's new and up and coming. And so they gave me this space, and I was in there for 4.5, almost 5 months. And then I was able to give myself the confidence and show my husband that we can work this out. The balance of my kids are in school, and I have twins that are 5, so I'm also a mom. And then I was also able to kind of fluff up my inventory to have an actual storefront. And then I met Steve Mason, many people know him. He
have you considered like an in-home network? Like, can you help me?
Like HSN or whatever?
Yeah,
What, like on
exactly.
TV?
Right. Have you considered that or other direct?
I do know another jewelry company who did this, who manufactures in India, and they're able to scale their product by the hundreds of thousands. And so HSN requires you to have that already manufactured like in a facility. So you're basically doing net 90 on 50 grand in inventory. So yes and no, because yes, I could do it if I wanted to take out the line of credit to do that, if I thought it would for sure sell, which is good because that is direct to consumer. But at the same time, the people who watch HSN are not my client. So I've got to I have to look for my client. It's very specific for people who look for products that give back or care that it's ethically made, because when I find in the store, most people, I would say about 20% of them actually care. Most people are like, oh, I'm just glad it's cute, you know? And so it's hard to find that balance. But when I do find the people who care, they're all in. Like, I buy everything from you, which is who I want more of. A lot of it.
Just for clarification, I was thinking.
Like an Avon.
Cabbie.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like cabbie.
What's
Like
that?
cabbie.
Chef.
Oh, Cambridge.
Yeah.
You know, where you
Oh.
have representations who go out.
Oh, yeah, no. That is like what I want to be. I want to be so far from that. That culture is very.
It's not you.
It's not. But I want to empower women. Yes. Sorry.
I've seen some like clothing subscription services.
Those are great marketing tools. Like some of those you'll sell to them for at cost is usually what it is. It is like an advertising thing, and I have worked with some of them and they've worked. It's just finding them and doing it. Yeah. It's like working with bloggers. You had a question, sorry.
It sounds like one of your big questions is about the branding and marketing side. For us, it's not a branding and marketing.
Yeah, that's cool. It's all good. I'm not either, so.
Well,
You know,
my question is, have you talked to professional firms that
Yeah.
engage in that, and what's your
Yes, I have one. I don't know if you know Kathleen Shannon. She wrote the book Being Boss and has the Being Boss podcast. She just happens to be my friend, which is good because I could not afford her services right now. And I wish I could always afford them, but what I learned from here is that there's always access to them. Like I was able to take their e-course, although I couldn't do the full like coaching one-on-one session and things like that. And she is one who's helped me significantly on the branding.
Along with marketing, I've been approached by like 3 different women that have similar business models to you, but make different stocks. And
Uh-huh.
the woman that does it, incredibly successful, also in Nordstrom's.
Who is it?
That does Global Resource. She does shoes.
Oh,
And she's a woman in Haiti.
great.
And so I'd love to talk afterwards.
Sure.
Because one of the conversations, as an independent, they can't afford marketing and those kind of things, but forming a coalition to
Mhm.
where you become kind of a marketing group.
Yeah, and that's like, I'm now part of the Fair Trade Federation, which
Yeah.
has kind of become part of that for me, because now I'm listed on their website as a fair trade. Number one, my store is a fair trade storefront, so people looking to shop retail side, and then people looking to carry fair trade products in their store have access to me, which is also good. But I'm really trying to work, because I've proven the wholesale works, like, now like, I've got to get retail better, so. Yeah. Go ahead.
Have you considered Uber type of model where you connect the producers directly with the consumers and you provide a back-end service?
Say that again?
Have you considered Uber type of a model for your business where you connect the producers, the women that are producing the clothing, directly with the consumers, and
That's where I see myself,
yeah, you provide a back-end support of technology and photographs and things like that, an e-commerce platform for those women, and take a percentage cut out of it.
I mean, well, I design the products, so, and then they make them, so it's different. I mean, if I were going to be like a market, like resell type, what I'm trying to differentiate from is that a lot of people do go to Mexico and just swoop up goods, and that's not ethically done. And so I'm trying to specifically brand myself away from that, because when you're associated with that, then people go, well, I can get this in Mexico for $5. I'm like, yeah, well, it wasn't made with real leather, and it's totally made by a child, and those, I find myself like, there's a traditional little Mexican dress that we sell that I want to get rid of because I carry that product, people automatically associate me with the market in Mexico, which is a very slippery slope because it's a very unethical place.
What I'm referring to is that if you really want to scale, digital is the only way to scale rather than shops,
Yeah.
So any e-commerce platform model that you can think of would be way better.
I have one. Yeah, and it has all the artisans I don't know, I guess I don't understand the question totally. Like changing my website now, they already have.
I think usually the e-commerce websites that you have is like usually I'm the one who is doing all the work and sale directly.
No, if you visit our website, it's very much not that. We spend time producing videos showing them doing it, but we also work in indigenous communities where many of them don't want to show their face, and we have to respect that. So it might just be their hands working or something, but it'll say this was made by Cristobal, he lives in this community, but we can't say too much because there's land wars going on, and I can't get involved in that. And so I have to respect that, and not all artisans want to be broadcast. They want their art out there, and that became very clear when we shot our documentary, but not always do they want, I don't know. Yes and no, we do it. Like, it shows the story of each artisan on our website under About Us, but not every single product. And it does tell about who made it and what country it came from them. Sorry, go ahead, and then I'll give you more.
I assume that your long-range model provides for more retail outlets. If so, how about Norman?
It would be great if Norman, I think in the beginning I thought would be a little bit of a tough sell until I was well established, especially because ethical fashion is something that's not well known everywhere. Most people go to the mall for their clothing, and even in Oklahoma City, we can struggle with that. And so if I can prove that this model in Oklahoma City can sustain itself, I would love to go there, but so far my wholesale pays the bills. So, yeah.
Building off of what you just said, you said that wholesale was your greatest profit margin. So now, is that
Yes and no. It's like my store has only been open 1 year, so it's also not as the rate of growth, if you look at the rate of growth of the store, is just as fast. It's just 2 years younger.
okay?
So
as you know, now we're moving.
that's the goal, is to get the retail front, because with online sales too, we want that to, I would love for that to be like the demand be so high that we could do that, because increasing the retail sales is where I personally would start to make money finally.
So are you going to have to incrementally reduce wholesale to be able to cover your costs while you build up the
Yes,
retail sales?
yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Also, I reduced the number of products in my wholesale line so that I was stocking. Another product issue we have is people are used to Amazon style shipping. So although it's artisan made and they understand that, they still want it to ship tomorrow. And can you do it today? Is the next question. Like, it's what they say. And so I learned if I stock those products and ship them out that day, they're not going to cancel the order after. I had a lady last week she placed an order. It had been less than 3 weeks for a handmade she knew up front. And I called, she said, oh no, it's too cold, can't have that. So then what am I supposed to do with it? That's where my store comes in. But I don't want the store to always be that. I would love for it to be able to flourish and have, we're just trying to figure out what balance is Oklahoma looking for. Because Oklahoma is also a different market. My stuff coastally, we are in, I think 170 stores are in Texas alone. Why Texas? Cactus is a thing. We have a lot of cactus in our line, and it sells so well in Texas. And Florida, South Carolina, North